Coming up in this episode, we talk about two very controversial phone features, and we show you guys a very awesome PC accessory for you gamers.
Yeah, we talk about a game that has been keeping Ryan and I up for days. Fair enough. We talk about some interesting things that are now appearing on Google, and we also give you guys a review of Pocket for Android.
Yeah, so it's a great episode lined up, and we hope you'll stay with us after this intro. Hello and welcome to TEChBrits, your community technology show where the hosts have burnt out eyeballs from playing too much Black Mesa. A game we've both been waiting for a long time, and it's finally out. And the memories, I'll tell you now.
Ryan, more on that later. First of all, we want to talk about a few things in the mobile space. There's been a lot of talk about the iPhone 5 not having NFC and not having wireless charging, and a lot of its competitors having NFC and wireless charging.
Yeah, I mean, the main competitor obviously we're talking about is Lumia 920. That seems to be cropping up in a lot of sentences, and I think it's the first real competitor in a way.
Design-wise, I love the 920, I'm not going to lie. The 920 is beautiful.
It's just
I
the
just
OS
can't get my hands on Metro.
Yeah. So let's keep this on topic. So the features we're talking about today is NFC and wireless charging.
Right.
Now, I had this debate the other day, and even Apple fanboys, you have to admit, you defend lack of features to the very depth. Like, if something's not there, then you won't. But the thing is, a lot of the discussions, a lot of the editorials I know you're reading, and when people have arguments with me, I know that they're quoting articles that I've read. So they're saying that NFC is not ready and all that. But the thing is, most of those are based in the US, where NFC isn't ready, as far as I'm aware. Whereas in the UK, it is quite widespread already. Yeah,
well, like I mentioned last week, my store has recently rolled out NFC till card readers. Yeah. So you can now scan your phone or your Barclay card or whatever that has NFC. I think the point that NFC is not ready coming from the US makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Apple's core audience is the US.
Yeah.
Like, that's their main audience. And the fact that NFC... That was the reason that I think that they didn't roll out 3G until a generation later, is because AT&T's 3G network wasn't up to scratch.
Yeah.
And it is mainly the fact that NFC isn't ready in the States. That's why they didn't want to...
That is a problem. But, I mean, here in the UK, I think people are going to be missing it, because of a quote that I got told was that people rely on Apple because they feel like they're getting the whole package. They sort of trust them.
Yeah.
Which I think is a load of bollocks. But... To be honest, like, I think that this is a feature where I'm going to be going out with my Nokia, people are going to be going out with their Samsungs, they're going to be making mobile payments all around the UK, and iPhone users, in their majority, are going to be like,
why can't I do that?
Why can't I do that? Yeah. I'm still carrying my wallet around with me.
Well, I mean, NFC is a tricky subject, because with the rollout at work, I've been talking to a lot of people about, hey, would you like to use NFC on that card? And a lot of people have been really scarce about it, because... Effectively, you scan your phone in front of it, and it's paid for. It's all done.
Yeah, it just takes
someone nicks your phone.
Yeah, there needs to be more security on it. Yeah, we discussed this last week.
That's the reason I think why. As much as it's not ready, it's ready, but it's not ready for the mainstream yet. I don't think.
Well, I mean, the other thing, of course, is that it's got quite a big bank push over here as well. I mean, Barclays are the biggest ones pushing
they've had it for ages.
Yeah, they've had it for a long, long time. And, I mean, their system's alright, because you just scan your card, you type in your PIN. So
no, you don't even type in your PIN anymore.
Don't you?
No.
Oh, God, that is terrible security.
You scan your... It's under £20 at work. I don't know if that's everywhere, but if it's under £20, you can do contactless. If it's over £20, even by a penny, you can't. And that's sort of the security at the moment, and I think it's every 5 transactions with contactless you have to type in your PIN to get another 5.
Yeah.
So there is that sort of, but that's £100.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, there does need to be more security on
it. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, keep on top of that. I think NFC is going to be... Because, I mean, NFC isn't just for mobile wallets. I mean, it's for transferring files as well. I mean, obviously, Galaxy S, you've got Android Beam, on Android. You can tap your phone together, send across contacts, pictures, music, videos, maps, anything, just with a tap.
But iOS has Bump, which is essentially the same thing in a weird way.
Yeah.
In a way, it is a very similar...
Kind of. again, it's a third-party app. Like, these things should be built in. I mean, it's something I've criticised for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can't Bluetooth photos to your friends really pisses me off about iOS, and it wasn't until recently where I've noticed just how annoying it is.
Yeah. There are some things that just still seem really ancient.
Well, it's not just that, it's just like the lack of stuff that was on my feature phone.
Yeah.
You know, Bluetoothing photos of like a group holiday. You're like, oh, can you Bluetooth that photo to me? No, I've got an iPhone.
See, of course, that's the biggest problem I have, is that how Apple seemed to be the first to do features. It's like video calling. Like, everyone's like, I can FaceTime, and I still hear it now, and it's like, I've done that when I was in secondary school on my Sony Ericsson over 3G.
Yeah.
And they won't even let you do that at the start. And
Well,
still won't if
they
you're
still
on a 3G,
AT&T.
if you're on an iPhone 4 earlier.
I think that is the thing with the iPhone 4 thing. That was the same thing with Siri, the argument I made with Siri, which is it is a marketing push. You know, they want people to upgrade their phones. They won't, next year they will not be supporting the 4. That is why they don't put all of the features. The 4 hasn't got panorama mode.
Yeah.
The 4S does.
Of course, but then other companies still manage to do it. I mean, I know
It's
Android...
a different business model at the end of the day. Apple want to push and make money. That's how they work. Other people, other companies may
But see,
be a
that's
little...
also what I don't like so much, because of when you're a company, especially as Apple. I mean, Apple's like the biggest company like in the world now. Like, they don't really even need any more money. They should be in it for the innovation now. Like,
yeah.
What else can they do with it? I mean, if I was at the top, I'd be like, well, I've got as much money as I need now. Just check out actual innovation.
Yeah, they have got ridiculous amounts of money that they... I don't know what I want to know what they're doing with it. I really do. What research and development could you possibly be doing? Unless they reveal the iPhone 6 and it's like, you know...
Still got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I do hope that Apple go back up, because Apple are Apple. I live in the Apple ecosystem, and dropping the iPhone 5, like not upgrading to the 5, or not upgrading...
Not even the 4S.
Well, I've got my 4. It works. It connects with iCloud. It does all that. It does Wi-Fi syncing with iTunes, which will more Wi-Fi stuff in a minute. Well, not Wi-Fi, wireless. But it's a big risk for me to drop.
I mean, that's the basis of it, is that people are on iOS mainly for the apps at the moment. That's basically all iPhone is. I mean, it does push apps front and centre, which isn't a bad thing. It's like a good thing. But then if you want more features, then really you should go to the competition.
Yeah, it's features versus apps, really.
But then the others are catching up.
They're catching
rapidly. Right, so let's move on to wireless charging.
Yes.
Now, again, a very controversial subject, and I understand people's two different views on this, but the problem is that Nokia are getting criticised saying that they should invest more in new battery technology. But I know for a fact that Nokia have already heavily invested in new battery technology. The problem is that it's already almost at its limit. I mean, most phones these days, especially like quad-core phones, can't last a whole day without needing a top-up. So being able to just chuck it on like the wireless charging pillow, or when you're out and about, you can put it on the wireless charging plates that they're putting in cafes. When you're on Virgin flights, being able to just put it next to you and have it charged up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, wireless charging's not bad. It obviously allows you to sort of get away from all those tangly wires, but I don't know whether it needs to be there.
No, but it's sort of one of those things that's sort of, why not at this point? It's sort of, if you can have it, then have it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Apple are clearly pushing the Lightning connector, which still, it's actually really annoyed quite a few people. I know, especially with their... I read an article the other day, the UK prices are like 20% higher than the US prices, even without VAT, so they're essentially 40% higher.
Well, I know the cable itself is costing Apple something ridiculous, about 89% more to produce or something like that, which that's where they're chucking their money, just on some kind of... Well,
I mean, you don't really need it. I mean, it makes the phone smaller. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's so useful, but I prefer wireless charging myself.
Well, yeah, I mean, wireless charging... I can see why people would want wireless charging. I'm not going to be completely oblivious and say wireless charging is not needed. You don't need wireless charging. You don't need wireless charging.
No, you don't.
But I can see why it'd be useful. But it is a case of... I don't know, because like I wireless charge at home, and then I want to charge somewhere else, and I forget my wireless charger. It's bigger. It's like this pillow thing.
Yeah.
It's like a block as opposed to just.
Well,
like,
I mean, there's supposed to be a big
connection.
push to get it nearly everywhere you go.
Well, it's not just that. It's what if I'm going to my mate's house
Mhm.
and I just want to take my charger with me?
Well, the
I don't
thing
want to
is-
have to take this massive block. I
Yeah.
want to just take.
I mean,
a
if
lead,
more people
essentially.
adopt it, then it's better because it is on a standard. It's on that QI standard. There is an actual pronunciation. It's not called QI.
Qui.
It is QI.
I
Is
don't
it?
know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, should have revised this a bit better. But yeah, it's a standard. So anyone else who has this wireless charger, and then they can all use it.
Yeah, but I mean, like most of my friends, I don't know whether I'm in the minority or the majority. I'm probably in the minority, in all fairness. But most of my friends have older phones. In fact, my best mate has a Nokia like Diddy phone because he doesn't need a smartphone, and you don't need to be pushed to have a smartphone. And I think if this wireless charging is like mandatory, I don't know. It's a really difficult subject. I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think about wireless charging and NFC. Do you think, whose side are you on?
I was gonna say, because I've never actually thought of it that way. Like, being able to go around your friends, and if nearly every phone out there ends up using this same wireless charging standard, then you wouldn't have to worry about, like, the fact that they have a BlackBerry cable and you're on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Or then you can just use their wireless charger.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I don't know. I reckon it's much easier.
I reckon what we're going to be seeing one day is charging in your pocket. You put it in your pocket and it will charge.
Yeah, they do essentially have that. I mean, it's expensive technology, but yeah, I mean, it's
There you
funny.
go.
Right, so let's talk about a phone that I found the other day, and I think you got, like, briefly, at least, very excited about it, and this is sort of a phone that even I'll drop the Lumia 920
Okay,
for.
before we start, let's just quickly go over this quick story. I'm not getting the iPhone 5, and I don't know what phone to get. You're pretty set on Windows Phone, you're pretty set on the Lumia.
Yeah.
But I'm really stuck what phone to get. I've looked at the Samsung, it's really plasticky. I've looked at the HTC, I don't like Sense. I'm looking for a phone. And then you send me a message saying the following.
Yeah, because I've been trying to find a phone for you because I want to be able to offer an unbiased opinion to everyone. So when you guys are home, send me a message, ask for my advice, I can give you like some proper advice. And I want to know someone for your situation. So I've been looking around and I found this phone. It's it's being made in China. I'm hoping it's going to get a global release. But it's called the Oppo Find 5. Now, the company Oppo made the world's thinnest smartphone. I think it only launched in China, so I'm hoping that this will be different. But it's astounding. I know you say like specs don't matter too much, but these are just incredible. I can't comprehend it. First of all, let's talk about the pixel density. 441 ppi. So comparing that to the iPhone 5, which has 326 ppi. It also has 1920 by 1080p screen.
That's
so
10 full
HD.
Full.
It ships with 4.1 Jelly Bean. It has a Snapdragon S4, which beats Tegra 3 and the Xenos in the Samsung Galaxy S3. 2 gigs of RAM, a 12 megapixel rear cam, 2 megapixel in front, and a 2,500 milliamp battery, which is one of the biggest I've seen in a phone.
I don't care about specs, but those are pretty hefty.
Yeah, like I get excited.
And the
looking
thing
at
is,
them.
the thing is, it's got a 5-inch screen as well. I don't think we mentioned that. It has a 5-inch screen. It's going to be cheap to produce as well because it is produced in China.
Yeah.
It is already there. The problem is that Oppo, I don't know how we're pronouncing this.
Yeah.
They've only ever shipped phones in China. So are we just going to all of a sudden see? I mean, the fact that this has hit Engadget, this has hit.
I was going to say
all
now
these
they're
massive
obviously
websites.
getting-
They're probably going to go, hang on a minute, there's a market here. Whether they'll be allowed in these countries, obviously with regulations and stuff. But I had a look at the Finder and the Find 3 on eBay.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but they look quite plasticky. Like really, the screen is it's like a plastic screen.
Yeah,
and that's
I think this
real
does
big
have
off-putting.
Gorilla Glass, this new one, so I'm hoping that the quality will be.
Yeah, well,
up
obviously,
on this
all
one.
we've seen so far are concept pictures, which is weird considering they've revealed it.
Yeah.
But who knows? I might be getting the Oppo if it appears in the UK, in UK shores. But other than that, I do want some help. Can you tell me what phone you think I should get and why? Essentially, I am looking for a new phone. I'm currently on an iPhone 4. I'm looking for a new phone. The sort of requirement says I don't like Windows Phone. I just don't like Metro. I don't like the UI. I can live with Samsung now. I've pushed myself to go there. Samsung are fine. And
I know fast you said that Samsung are fine.
And yeah, Android is fine. I want Jelly Bean if possible. And then there was one more thing, which was, I don't want it on contract.
Yeah.
As well.
And preferably you don't want to have to root your device in order.
And I don't want to have to root my device in order to get it something I want to use.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's essentially.
That's weird asking our audience for advice, but.
Well, no, it is just so the audience can essentially make, like, change my life.
I was going to say it's more of just what would you do?
Yeah, what would you do kind of thing.
That's the problem is that if you don't like Windows Phone and you do find the iPhone 5 a disappointment, then where would you go?
And I'm also going to say this, keep the iPhone 5 as an option. The reason I'm saying that is because I've had a lot of people saying to me, well, with what you've said, the iPhone 5 is the only thing that will really fit that bill. Like, fit, the fact that you don't like all these and all this. And I find that interesting. So let me know what you think in the comments below.
Mm-hmm. Right, so now I want to talk about a new mouse that I've just got.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Cyborg MMO7 gaming mouse. So this is the one just here. Now this is a very pricey mouse at £85, and to have any real use out of it, then you would have to be well into your massive multiplayer games, which has to feature a lot of buttons, which this mouse has. So let's go over some of the features which hopefully justify its rather hefty price tag. So you can see on the bottom here you have several weight plates, so you can actually even adjust the weight and feel of the mouse itself. You can see that the laser is 6400 DPI, so it's very quick, and that can be adjusted using this DPI button here on the front. You can see the whole variety of buttons. You have some here, some here, some here, some here, some here, some here, just about everywhere you look. It has a omnidirectional button here on the side. You can scroll and strafe using this wheel here, as well as your normal scroll button on the front there. But the cool thing about this mouse is how nearly all the pieces are interchangeable. So even this back palm rest here you can have adjusted so you can sort of get a different feel on the mouse and have more of a claw grip. So let's take a look at some of those replacement pieces. So if you look here, this is the case which it comes in, and you can see some of these replacement parts. You can see palm rests, even replacement parts for your pinky, and another weight cartridge there as well. So these are the palm rest pieces. You see they're all very high quality. And here's an example of a pinky one. And here is a weight cartridge. So that is the Cyborg MMO7 mouse.
I want one.
I know.
I want one.
It's really cool.
I want to play StarCraft on that. When Heart of the Storm comes out, I want to steal that from you.
Guild Wars 2 on Mac now.
Yeah.
That was just announced today.
Well, speaking of games, and the fact that there was something new on Mac, we'll go on. Black Mesa.
Yes. Now, this is the game that I was talking about at the start, and I think I can speak for both of us when we've not been basically contactable for the last few days.
Yeah, essentially.
But it's been pretty much non-stop. I don't think this episode was going to happen. I've just managed to pull myself away, but I'm already itching to leave again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm itching to get upstairs. But Black Mesa, if you guys don't know, is the recreation of the original Half-Life game with 2007's Source SDK. Yeah. So it has essentially, we're going to say, Half-Life 2 graphics for the Half-Life 1 storyline.
Well, better than Half-Life 2. It's
no,
running on
Half-Life
the
2
Source
episodes.
engine.
Episodes.
No, it's because the team actually went over every texture in the game. They spent 7 years on this, completely recreating it in the latest high definition textures.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is running on the Source 2007 engine, but it's fantastic and it's free and it feels like a brand new, astounding game.
Yeah.
With all the puzzles that sort of Half-Life's been sort of known for, along with all the action and the story, and it's just...
The moment I picked up that crowbar, the moment I took that crowbar out that door,
Yeah.
I just kind of went, ah!
It is a really momentous sort of thing. I mean, there was actually almost a tear to my eye just on that very first scene. When you're on the train, it's a long scene, but when you're first on that train, I was like, oh, I remember this so much, and it's all just beautiful. And
Well, the thing is, I watched, I went back and I watched some Half-Life 1 playthroughs, and you can see the scenes and how well they've been recreated.
It is amazing.
They're larger, they're slightly adjusted, like that initial office when you walk in, that you used to walk in and the desk would be bang in front of you. Now it's kind of to the side a little bit. You know, a few things have been... changed.
But it does feel like a brand new game, especially if you haven't played it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I probably would have paid full price for this game. I would have, if I knew how good this is, I would literally have probably paid about 35, 40 quid for it.
The fact that it's free is amazing.
Yeah, it was the first game to launch on Steam's new Greenlight, which is for indie platform makers. So
yeah, and Valve didn't shut it down. That's the best part.
Mm.
Valve didn't shut it down, but it is PC only. And as you know, I own a Mac.
Mm.
But with some tinkering and with some porting, I managed to find if you've ever heard of the app Winery or Wineskinner, you essentially, you install it into almost like a bottle, and then you run it through the bottle. So you're only running Black Mesa. You're not running a full version of Windows. You have the Winery, the bottle has got like System32 folders and all that sort of thing in it, but that's all you have.
Yeah, so you're running a virtual machine.
It's a virtual machine, but you don't have to
sandbox.
run Windows at all. And it runs flawlessly. If you have a Mac, contact me. I will help you get it working, but it is amazing in a wrapper. Even in a wrapper, it works so well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read a few tweets from the following days from me. I've decided I'm going to get it working. Download it, that's fair, easy enough. And then essentially, I'm extracting things. Now I've got it working. See you in a day. And then I didn't tweet for like a day.
And I've probably, you can probably tell, I don't think either of us have slept, to be honest.
Wow.
No. That's a no.
No.
Um,
Now we want to move on to another game. It is more of just an announcement more than a review. But you know those fun little people over at Rovio?
Who?
You may know one of their top games known as Angry Birds.
No. What's Angry Bird? Yeah.
Well, essentially, they are releasing a new game on the 27th of September called Bad Piggies, which is essentially the pigs side of the story. You can build vehicles with wheels and wood and with all the sort of things. It's like a grid, and you have the pigs in the grid, and you've got to build around them, and you've got to build vehicles to basically drive around this course to get to the eggs.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Is essentially it. It is a new game, completely new dynamics. It has a slightly similar feel to Amazing Alex, where you're taking the things from the bottom and putting them on the screen and then hitting play and then.
It does amaze me how much they do tend to completely alter the gameplay, although keep it very similar.
Well, it's the exact same characters. It's the exact same world. Well, I say it's the exact same character. It's the pigs. I'm really looking forward to this, I'm not gonna lie. I've watched the gameplay trailer earlier today, and it looks good.
Yeah, no, you sort of made me a little bit excited for it.
Cool, now I've been keeping this story a secret. It is time for George's secret story, which should be a segment,
Usually
I think.
my secret story, but this one's yours.
Okay, so Google, as you know, are very famous for their Easter eggs.
Yes.
You type in recursion, it says, did you mean recursion? You click on recursion, it recurs.
Yeah.
You type in what is the meaning of the universe and everything, it comes up with the calculator, equals 42. Now, I want to borrow your Nexus a sec, because I want to use Google now.
Okay.
But essentially, Bacon number, if you've heard of the 6 degrees of separation, have you ever heard of the 6 degrees of separation?
Yes.
You take two things, and it's basically said that you can get from one to the other in less than 6 relations.
Yeah.
Well, the 6 degrees of separation is also can be associated with the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, who's an actor. Kevin Bacon's an actor. It's kind of a little fun twist on it. And what Google have done is if you type in Bacon number and then the name of a celebrity, it will find the number of degrees of separation between the celebrity that you've typed in and Kevin Bacon.
I'll see this.
So pick any actor. I'll put you on the spot here.
Yes, you have. Why can I suddenly not think of an actor? Think of an actor for me.
Okay. I'll do. Bacon number Tom Cruise.
I'm glad I didn't say that one first.
1. Tom Cruise and Kevin Bacon appeared in A Few Good Men. So that's 1 degree of separation. So you can do it with not. It's not just actors either. I mean,
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, NPH. Okay. Bacon number Neil Patrick Harris. 1. They both appeared in Beyond All Boundaries. You can also do it with a few sort of well-known names. So we can do Bacon number Barack Obama. Now let's say Barack Obama and Steve Carell appeared in Official Integral Celebration, and Steve Carell and Kevin Bacon appeared in Crazy Stupid Love. And it is just, it's a nice little tweak. I'm impressed that Google have got it on now already. Because it only really came out today, but it is just, it's a little fun thing that if you want to know how far your celebrity is connected to Kevin Bacon for any reason, you can now do it on Google now. I'm going to do one more.
It's a shame we can't like learn you.
Bacon number Ryan Dawes. Well, that's not a celebrity. That's not a person. I said Ryan Bowers apparently. And I've also said baking number, but that didn't like it. But it is a little fun little tweak, and you know, if you want to give it fun, you know, just give it a go. Just Google bacon number and then the name of anyone famous.
So now I want to show you an updated version of Pocket. Now Pocket is one of my favourite apps because of just whatever link you see on Twitter, wherever you are on the web, then you can save it for later. It's like a read it later. Well, what actually was called read it later, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. But yeah, you shove it in what you call your virtual pocket and read it later. So they just updated their app and they basically added in a text to speech feature using one of Google's own things. Now this hasn't come out on iOS yet because it's an Android only feature. So
I was just looking at updates.
Yep, no, I'm afraid you won't find it. Not this one. Which is weird. In fact, I've actually been seeing a lot more updates on Android than I have on iOS apps lately. But anyway, this is the app. What they've added, and I'll go on an interesting story by itself here a second, is the ability to use Android's built-in text-to-speech features, which is really useful.
20th Century Fox brings 600 new movies and TV shows.
Well, there you go. That's the story told for you. Google Play is adding 600 new movies and TV shows. And in fact, you even get early Prometheus access. But this would be brilliant if you were on the go. You can just listen to articles as if they were an audiobook. And of course, Pocket is a fantastic app anyway, just to save everything you want across the web and just on Twitter, wherever you are. And yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Oh, I like that. I want that on iOS, like now.
It's quite useful.
And I think, is that everything, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week.
That's everything. That's everything. It's really good. It's been good. Of course, tell us your thoughts on NFC, on wireless charging. I'm just going to round up the episode. On Black Mesa. How much have you not slept? Tell us about, are you excited about Bad Piggies? And what was the last one? Bacon number, have you given it a go yet? And of course, are you using Pocket for Android? Yeah. That is all for this week's edition of TEChBrits. We hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Of course, you can contact us in the normal places.
You can email us at techbrits@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at TEChBrits. Follow the host individually. Follow me, Ryan, at gadget_Ryan.
Or me, at George Lim. That's J's instead of GE's.
So until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see us next week. We hope you do. And yeah, see you later. Ciao.
Ciao.